Hello and welcome to another Madaxeman.com podcast. This podcast has been recorded as we drive home from the campaign event in Milton Keynes, when we talk about Foggar and the games that we played over the weekend. This podcast also features Simon and also Coughing Dave. Please enjoy the podcast. Well, here we are. It's another experimental Madaxeman podcast. This time we've just all been to the campaign event in Milton Keynes, and we're driving back very carefully. This is on hands-free on the M1, and I'm here with Simon.
G'day.
And I'm here with Coughing Dave.
Yeah, Coughing Dave. Coughing Dave.
Coughing Dave, really. So Simon, starting with you were playing Fog Renaissance this weekend.
Yep.
Tell me about your army, tell me about the games.
So I was playing in the 25mm period for our team.
Big shiny toys?
Yep, big bands toys. And it was an English Civil War period, so it was parliamentarians, royalists, and Cromwell's army, so after the revolution.
So campaign is traditionally a very tightly themed competition in pretty much all the different wargaming periods. So if someone doesn't really know campaign, just describe how campaign works.
So what they do is you field a team of 3 people, and then each team member is in a different pool, and they're very tight army choices. So for the 25mm period, there were just 4 available armies: the English Civil War, 2 parliamentarians, and the 1 royalist, and the new model, which is the Cromwell army. And then the other 2 periods had again only 4 or 5 allowed armies, so they're designed around choosing the less good ones. So it's more about skill of the player and getting some more tighter periods in play. So you get some of the more weirder armies coming out because they're actually viable then.
Okay, and you were playing 25mm, 28mm, call it what you will.
Big boys toys.
Big boys toys. And which army did you go for?
So I brought new model English, so Cromwell's army.
Was that an ideological choice, or was there science to it? You know, because in a thing where there's a very tight period, why you choose the army list is probably quite important.
I chose it based on a design choice, because I looked at all the other options and I misunderstood a couple of the other army lists. So I looked at what could give me the most good quality amount of battle troops, so large amount of supported pike and shot units, how many I can get as being superior, a couple of mounted skirmishers, and maybe a bit of artillery to make a very solid, tough line of infantry, then supported on the flanks by mounted to, if they could get in, they could go and cause some casualties, but otherwise they just had to threaten or deal with other mounted.
So for you it was all about let's get some good quality foot, and then everything else plays a supporting role.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you have chosen a different list if it had been a 15mm competition with more space on the table? Or
Yeah, I would have, because in the 25mm period it's very difficult to have a large mounted army because of the size of the table, so it's predominantly a mass foot army with some mounted. If it had been a 15mm where mounted had more space to manoeuvre, there may have been, rather than 1 or 2 mounted, there might have been 4 or 6 units, because they could then work their flanks a lot harder, maybe do a flank march, come around and really threaten the infantry. Okay,
so you're playing with the royalists, with the parliamentarians. You're playing in a very tight pool.
Yep.
Was it the case that out of the 4 armies, somebody picked them all, or was there a mix, or did it turn out there was an obvious choice that everybody went for?
There was no obvious choice. So there was out of the 5 players, we had 2 parliamentarians, 2 new models, and a royalist.
That's a good mix.
Yeah. So everyone had gone for slightly different versions as well. So there was no copy and paste of an army. Everyone went for slightly different design choice, whether they wanted a little bit more mounted or a little bit more supported foot, or various armies like that. So it's good to see subtly different choices, which made you think a little bit.
Okay. And you played 5 games over the weekend, so it's 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
Yep.
How did they go?
Game 1 was a very bloody draw for both of us. I was playing a parliamentarian army, and both of us got stuck in, lots of shooting, lots of charging and all that, but none of us could get that critical breakthrough to get some infantry moving to the flanks or whatever, or the mounted. So by the time was called, we had just a 10-all draw.
Right, but a lot of casualties, a lot of action.
Yeah, sorry. First game, I was actually wrong.
Yeah,
sorry.
Fourth game, you're playing Coughing Dave.
Yeah, so first game, and that did result in quite a horrific win to me. I broke Dave's army in about 2 and a bit hours, resulting in a 22-3.
So was that down to your burgeoning illness, Dave, do you think? Or
no, down to me not playing the game very often.
Okay.
But I don't think I did too badly.
No, Dave made one little mistake in that he exposed the superior unit because he manoeuvred it out and just exposed it a little bit too much, so I was able to mass fire on it for a few rounds before it got supported, and by the time it recovered, it was so badly mauled that it broke very shortly afterwards. And then there was a hole there.
Well, that's that sort of simplicity of pick on something, expose, concentrate fire. Because in Renaissance a lot of the troops are so similar, you do get that almost pure form of war game sometimes. Of, the horse, the foot, the guns, the concentration of fire, pile onto a weak point. So that's proper stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's you got because also the armies are very similar. Everyone's trying to go exploit a little corner or get just a little bit of an advantage, and sometimes it comes down to who doesn't roll a 3.
Okay.
Game of skill, as we say.
Game of skill. So you won the first one, you drew the second one.
And then I got a big win in the third one. I think it was a 22-3 again.
Wow.
So that was playing against the Royalist Army.
Yeah.
So I was playing Charles, one of the rules writers, and what he did, which was a little bit of a surprise, is we had on one side of the table there was a plantation, so he ambushed 3 units inside there, and I wasn't sure if he was flank marching or whether they hid on the table because he just put the markers down. And a couple of turns later, out from this plantation, a superior horse unit appeared with some foot entourage.
Wow.
And that was quite scary.
Because normally the only thing that anyone ambushes is just skirmishing dragoons.
Yeah.
So real troops. Wow.
So that was quite scary, but luckily I could see where things were, what he had on the table, and because he had deployed all of his generals on the table, I knew there wasn't going to be a flank march. So working on that, he'd only had 1 mounted on the table, and he has to have 2. The one on the table was an average. Most likely it's going to be superior. It'll probably be in the plantation. So I deployed some 6-packs to go and deal with it.
So you were list spotting to see what was hidden.
Yeah, because you just look at the army, you get a vague sense of the compulsories, and it's like there's a superior mounted missing. I wonder where it could be.
I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? If you are going to ambush, it's got to be a proper ambush. So you need to do that with the list as well as just on table.
Yeah.
If there's some compulsories gone, you know it's missing, don't you?
That's you do, yeah.
Right. Okay. And then because this is one of these podcasts, I'm guessing you had a curry last night.
There may have been a curry, yeah. So we.
So was this the famous Elvis curry, or is that no longer in Milton Keynes?
No. So it's now been rebranded as the Don Curry.
The Don Curry.
Yeah.
Okay. The Don.
So, same place.
Yeah.
Same decor, same everything, but they've just changed their logo to be called the Don.
The Don. What?
The Don.
There's a curry mafia.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it curried spaghetti, curry pasta with meatballs?
Yeah, and if you annoy the waitress too much, you get a curried horse's head in your bed next morning.
Because the Elvis curry was a little bit weird. Well, no, it was incredibly weird.
Yeah.
But is it just they've just changed the name and done nothing to the decor, or is there any half-hearted attempt to create a mafioso style theme?
I couldn't see any different decor to last year. It looked exactly the same. No
special side dishes named after the cast of Goodfellas or anything?
Nothing like that. They
Nothing
just
at
had
all.
a fancy crest and leather-bound menus rather than the usual paper ones.
And that was just
that was it.
Okay. So, and the key question really is, what, Kingfisher or Cobra?
Cobra.
Cobra. So it's a Cobra house. Good. And any late afters, or is it just grown-ups and sickly Dave?
It just grown-ups and sickly Dave, so
you didn't manage to bump into any stag and hen parties or any kind of messy stuff?
Yeah, there was an 18th birthday party, but nothing particularly drunken or scantily clad, which is a bit of a shame.
Okay, cool. So then on to the morning games. You had kind of a friendly game because there was a bye effectively, wasn't there?
Yeah, so I had the bye game, so I was playing with another parliamentarian, and that resulted in a spectacular loss to me.
But that didn't count.
It didn't count, so
it's a spot of luck.
Wasn't too fussed there. Couple of battle groups decided at the critical point to just that going to the pub was a better idea, and that caused most of my centre to dissolve very rapidly.
Right.
So all good fun.
Okay. And then this afternoon, I think it looked like another win, didn't it?
Yeah. So this afternoon for the final game, we had used another parliamentarian, and that resulted in quite a big 23-2 to me. It being another similar game of line up, make sure you push all the pressure points in the right place. My opponent Chris charged his superior mounted in, thought he lined up against my mounted. We're all, both of us rolling 6 dice, hitting on 4s. Both had generals in. Both of us drew, doing 3 hits each. He proceeded to roll for his death roll. Anything but a 1, he rolls a 1. I need to roll 2 dice to kill his general, needing double 6, kill his general. And left flank proceeded to rapidly dissolve as I burst through, and then proceeded to cause carnage on that side.
So basically you won that through a 1 in 218 chance?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Brilliant.
Complete game skill.
Complete game of skill. That's good then. Okay, cool. And then the whole campaign thing is about playing in a shopping centre in Milton Keynes, just outside John Lewis.
Yep.
And you get occasionally people wandering past, and I think you were on the outside table, so did you actually have to talk to members of the public at any point?
Yeah, we had quite a few people who were quite fascinated by why the hell grown men are playing with toy soldiers.
Yep.
And then a few people had guessed what periods we were playing, so they asked me what part of the Civil War we were playing, what we were doing, asked a few questions.
Well, I guess that's part of the advantage of using 28s, because they're just such big figures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just a lot more like toy soldiers that people can see.
A lot more obvious, so they went, oh, okay, that makes sense. I can see Cromwell over there, and yep, okay.
And am I right in thinking that your whole army is Warlord plastics?
Yes.
There's not a metal usurper amongst them?
There's a couple of Warlord metals in there, because they have a few metals, but the whole army is Warlord metals bar 1 horse unit. It's got an eBay special.
Right.
So they sit at the back of the table as re-support.
Okay.
The rest of it is all plastics, almost all plastics, which makes life easy to carry.
Well, they're good, those Warlord. I think them and the Perry stuff has really just started to completely change it. But those English Civil War troops are great little models, and they take army painters so well with that dirty sort of on-campaign buff coat thing, don't they?
They do, yeah, and they're quite easy to paint. They can en masse, you can paint up an army very quickly with the army painted dip and then the matte varnish. They look really good. They can morph into any 30 Years' War or some of the later armies extremely easy, and they look really good.
It's a good army, good. And there's a sort of small trade show, but it's not. I guess it's a trade show for traders who are capable of selling to the public, and I'm saying the public as in people who just got kids who want to buy a bit of Star Wars stuff, isn't it? Mm. So there's not too much in the way of hardcore figure manufacturers or war games trade or whatever there. Was there anything that you were tempted by, or was it just a browse around and pick up a paintbrush?
For me, it was just have a bit of a browse around. There was nothing inspiring or even vaguely interesting buying this time.
Is that about where you are in the buying cycle, or a bit of a mix of this in the show? A
little bit. It was mainly because Salute, which is the big buying experience, was only a month ago, and I might have spent a few £100 there. So,
so you're done. You're done on that one. Okay.
So the most exciting thing I bought was some paints and measuring sticks.
Okay.
Big spender.
All right. So Dave, are you alive in the back?
Just about.
Just about. Croaky. So let's do that, because obviously it's going to be a bit tricky for you. What's your your croaky summary of the 4 or 5 games that you had and the experience of playing 28mm.
I don't play Fog Renaissance very much. In fact, I haven't played for a year. But I found that I hadn't forgotten as much as I thought. And I think by playing the 25mm, it's quite forgiving to someone who's starting again. Because it's more, you can make mistakes, as I did against Simon in the first game. But the 25mm, as I say, is more forgiving.
Yeah, I suppose you can, because the units are quite big, you can line up and just take it, can't you?
Yes.
And that's going to be competent, and it's going to give you a game. But if someone's manoeuvring badly against you, they can lose against line-up and shoot. But if they're manoeuvring more cleverly, or they know when to push and when to not push, that still gives them a real advantage. But it feels like you're getting a good game and rolling a lot of dice.
And I think because we're playing with 800 points.
700?
700.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
You were playing with 800, no wonder.
I was playing with 800, which was helpful. No, I really enjoyed it. The tight theme is always interesting in campaign, and it's very easy to come with the wrong army or make a mistake. But I think the armies were very evenly matched with subtle differences, like the Royalists that we fought had the infantry Justin musket units are all superior, which made them very powerful, very difficult to dig out of terrain. But I felt all the games that I played were all about the flanks, running down the side, and who won that kind of won the game. I lost against Simon. I had 2 winning draws, 12-8s, and had 1 11-9 to my opponent. So they were good, fun, bloody battles.
Okay.
I think they could have done with an extra 15 minutes.
Well, possibly. But I suppose you're trying to squeeze it in because it's good, because it's only 5. Well, it's 5:15, 20 past 5 now. We're already back on the motorway home, and they do have to get people cleared out of the shopping centre because but maybe there's even a kind of technical legal reason about the shops having to close down after a certain time. They're only allowed to be open for a while.
It's a great venue to have a competition. Airy, not very smelly.
Lots of natural daylight.
Yeah, natural daylight. You've got a Pret a Manger and a Costa next door.
And Nero's. And
John Nero's, yep. So, and a John Lewis if you need to buy any nice sweaters and a formal shirt. That's always good.
They've also got their cafe diner down the other end of the John Lewis. So if you want a decent meal rather than a sandwich, you can go down there. So that was quite good.
Good.
It's very, very different from the usual primary school or college menu.
The usual sweaty and smelly place.
Yeah, and everything deep fried.
Okay. So what's next on the agenda then? Now we're all coming back from this one. What's the next competition that you've got looking forward to?
2 weeks' time, we've got the ADLG Ilford competition.
Oh, that's true. I know it's coming up. It's in my diary, but and that's kind of an interesting theme, isn't it? It's in a particular year. It's the year of Agincourt, is it? 1451?
Agincourt was last year.
So, okay, well,
wasn't Agincourt?
No, I don't mean it was in the year of Agincourt.
Yeah.
All the armies have to be dated
I see, yes,
in 1341,
yes.
I think, which gives you some interesting European choices.
Yeah.
So have you decided what you're taking yet?
I haven't, no. I'm still muttering. I'm thinking about Anglo-Irish.
Because?
Which is an hobby I've never ever considered before. Never used. It's quite popular in Folk AM.
Really?
Well, it was for a while.
Yeah. So what's the good thing about it?
Longbowmen.
Ah, right. It's a longbow army. Okay.
Longbowmen. But it's got a mixture. It's longbowmen, knights, light horse, and some decent heavy foot with the 2-handed weapons. But that's only an idea at the moment. I would have liked to have taken out Mugavars, but they seem to have disappeared out of it.
Because the longbow are they're 11 points a base if they're the elite, which in a 200-point army you're not getting many of those at all before you're running out.
Part of the issue.
Yeah. So
It's a really interesting competition. It's very hard. Art to the Guerre is at that point where you wonder, you're still trying to puzzle out the lists and work out what the options are.
Yeah, there must be so many lists. Well, clearly we've all not played that many games, so you've got 280 lists or something to give a go to, and you're not quite sure what's going to be good or what's not, because the balance of points cost and troop quality seems pretty solid.
And we still haven't found any killer armies yet, which is a good thing.
I mean, one thing none of us have played so far is none of the Asian armies or middle, so like the proper Asian, Japanese, Chinese, or the Indian periods. Most of those haven't come out yet, so I'm not sure what Samurai and Mass Elephant will do yet.
Well, I played a Samurai at the Challenge last year with a French player using it who was pretty good, and that was pretty early on in the UK sort of scene for it, so he beat me unsurprisingly, because it was a good army and he knew what he was doing, and I don't think I had a great army, and I suppose it did alright, but I didn't quite know what I was doing with it at the time, so because Samurai were pretty tasty, but I think doing this tightly themed medieval thing, actually it's a good, interesting theme for someone to have come up with as well. Actually, I think all credit to the Ilford boys for coming up with something fun, and I think also all credit, I don't know if you got the email around saying that they were going to order in chips at lunchtime, which I think is just such a great win.
I think what's also really good is that we're going to Ilford for the first time in a long time.
Actually,
we're going to be playing people who haven't really been around on the fog circuit for a while.
Yeah, because Ilford used to be, I think it used to be one of the DBM doubles things.
I used to go to there and play a competition, and they used to theme that very well. They used to have 4 games where you played so many, a proper army in 2 games, but you had a weaker army and a stronger army, and you had to choose.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
those ones.
Yeah.
So you got an extra 50. So one made you defend, and one made you,
So I think
that was always fun.
So I think there's about 20 or so people signed up for that.
It's great.
Which is a good turnout.
It's a good turnout for one day.
And then I think the same weekend out in Bristol, the McHugh is running a 25mm competition that I think has got over a dozen already. So that could be 30 odd people playing over the same weekend. Okay, in 2 venues, but that's starting to be a decent number of people. So it's interesting times. Well, I guess with a bit of luck, we'll be doing another podcast coming back round the M25 in a couple of weeks' time. But now we're just getting towards the M25 this time, so probably best time to sign off. And until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.